So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like turn you off. I'm gonna spin you like really fast.
Okay.
When I say chat, you're gonna jump off and like just say what's not.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, Faded Culture? It's Sergio Barron and we're back again with another tutorial. Today I'm gonna be doing a skin mid drop fade with a little bit of texture on top on my boy Chad here. I am gonna be using the Andes Master cordless this time, and let's see how this goes. Let's get right into it. Okay guys, so we're gonna start by wetting the top of the hair so we can start doing our scissor work. I always start from the back most side of his head, then determine the length that I wanna trim away, and then trim away the rest of the hair length according to this back section. And we're gonna repeat this process until we reach the front side of his head. Be sure you're only pulling small sections at a time, just to ensure that your hair trim on top is as precise as possible. And once you got all the way to the front, we're going to repeat the process starting from the back left side. Same thing, working our way up, cutting according to our first guide, which was down the middle. And then we'll also repeat the same process starting from the back right side as well. Starting from the back, working our way up all the way to the front. Next, I'm gonna just blow dry everything really dry so we can start doing our clipper work. This Andes Master clipper has 5 notch positions, and we're gonna close it all the way to the first one to set down our first guideline. I will find the temple peak area, and I'm gonna slant this guideline down as we reach the back side of his head. Be sure you take your time when laying down your first guideline, as your first guideline is probably your most important one, because the rest of your guidelines are gonna run according to this first one. So if this one's not as straight and smooth as possible, then your whole haircut will not be as straight as possible. So just take your time with soft strokes and set in this guideline as clean as possible. Once you're satisfied with setting down this first guideline, then we'll move forward by setting down our second guideline. And for this, I'm gonna come in with my clipper and I'm gonna open the lever all the way to the last notch, and I'm gonna set down this second guideline, coming up about a finger in length up high. And all you're gonna do is make sure that it runs parallel to that first existing guideline. I'm gonna be honest guys, it's been a while since I've used a pair of Andes Masters clippers. I was gonna wait a little to drop a tutorial on them, but I was like, I just couldn't wait. Feel free and let us know what other clippers or trimmers y'all like us to use in this channel. Next, I'm gonna grab my number 1 magnetic guard and I'm gonna slap it on, and I'll still leave that lever open all the way, which is a 1.5, and I'm gonna set down my third guideline. The same thing, coming up about another finger in length up high, and like before, just running it parallel to the previous guidelines. Honestly, these magnetic guards are pretty cool. That magnet on them is really strong, so you don't got to worry about these attachments clipping off or whatever while you're in the process of using them. So moving forward, I'm gonna grab the number 2 guard now, still leaving that lever open, and I'm not set in another guideline, but as you see here, I'm kind of sculpting the side length to the top length. So I'm just coming up a tad bit, but in a sense, just kind of using C scoop motions so that we don't leave no harsh guidelines above. And then this won't completely do the job. So next I'm gonna grab the 3 guard, the same thing, leaving it all the way open with the lever, and just trying to finish the job, coming up a little higher and connecting that side length to the top length. And also guys, just so y'all know, we always leave in written format all these steps down in our descriptions, just for those who like to, that are more on the analytical side of things and like to see things in written format. We have everything down in the description for y'all. And now to connect the side length to the top length completely, you could come in and use your scissors as you see here that I'm doing, or you can even use clipper over comb. It's all preference at this point. And yeah, all we're doing here is connecting the side length to the top length, and make sure you go around his whole head so that everything is set in nice and even. Also, when I'm grabbing a section of hair at a time, I'm pulling out ever so slightly as if his head was a square shape, just so that we don't cut too much off the top length of his hair. Moving forward with blending in these guidelines that we set in, I'll start with my number 1 guard, lever open all the way, and start by blending out the uppermost guideline. This guideline was set in with this guard as well, but I'm gonna use the exact same position to take it right out with using C-scoop motions as soft as possible. In this case, being my client had fine hair, I was able to take out this top guideline with this guard and lever position. But in some other cases, I feel like it might not completely take it out. So you could come back in with the 2 guard lever closed to help you take out that uppermost guideline. And now moving forward to taking out this middle guideline. For this one, I'm gonna use the half clip, and the lever position will be set in the middle. And yeah, we're gonna start chipping away at this middle guideline, a small section at a time until we can lighten it up as much as we can. It's important to note that this guard won't completely take it out, but don't worry, just don't go up too high with it. Right now we'll come back in with the 1 guard in the same lever position halfway, and we'll finish taking it out. Also guys, really quickly, thank you to everybody that has purchased some of our Faded Culture apparel. I really greatly appreciate y'all, all the love and support that we get. And for those who haven't seen it, I'm gonna leave it down in the description for y'all. Y'all can check out our website at fadedculture.co. Thank y'all. So like I said earlier, I'm gonna come in with the 1 guard, leaving that lever in the same position down in the middle, and we're gonna finish blending out this middle guideline as much as we can. You'll notice that I like to angle the clipper a lot, more so one side than the other. And that's kind of why we use that term, using the corners. That's just because that helps us get more detailed when it comes to taking out these guidelines. And now we're left with this last guideline to blend out. On this side of his head, I did start using another method that I feel was a little too confusing, so I didn't show these steps, but I was able to simplify it by the time I got to the right side. And all I was doing to erase this first guideline is starting from that first notch, blend up a little bit, and then I open the lever to the second notch, blend up a little more, open it to the third notch, a little more, fourth notch, and so forth until we got to the last notch to completely finish blending out this first guideline. So yeah, I felt like this clipper worked better for me when I used every notch to finish taking out this first guideline that we set. And like I said, on the left side of his head, I try to use the usual technique that we use in all our other videos. I started with the lever closed all the way, then I opened it halfway, and then all the way, and it just wasn't taking it out as clean as possible. And I had to keep going back to the other notches, and it was just a little too confusing to explain. So yeah, I was able to simplify it and correct myself by the time I got to the right side. And take your time. Try not to get overwhelmed with taking out these guidelines. It can be overwhelming, but it just practice makes perfect with these type of things. And and also will, you got the will to want to get better is all it takes into mastering these blends. So again guys, I used every notch on this clipper to blend out this last guideline. Using the first notch, blend up a little, second, third, fourth, fifth notch until we completely take out this first guideline. So overall, guys, I mean, I really like these clippers. They're pretty dope. They feel really strong, very durable, I feel. The only thing that I will say about them that I didn't like is probably the feel in hand, as I feel like masters have always been too bulky for me. It's part of the reason why I've never, cared to deal with them for the long run. But I mean, I know a lot of dope barbers that kill these haircuts with the masters or the Andes Fade Masters. So I mean, feel free to try them, man. Everybody has their own way of doing haircuts. And now as you see here, I'm coming into that last notch to finish blending out that first guideline completely. And once you're done, it's a good idea to take a step back and look at your whole haircut thoroughly and determine if you need any touch-up work. In this case, I felt like I needed here and there some touch-up work. So I came back in with that half clip and I opened the lever halfway. And yeah, just looking for any little inconsistencies in the blend or any little dark areas, and quickly with the corners of the clippers just came in and lightened them up just to help the haircut or the blend appear that much cleaner. Next, to start taking out the bottom of the hair, I will start coming in with the trimmer upside down, as this leaves a broader guideline. And I will push down on the bottom hair a little bit, and then I'll flip it right over and just fade out that little faint line that it created. And the reason for coming in with them first upside down is that it leaves a broader guideline for us, so that when we come and take out the rest of the bottom of the hair, it's gonna leave a little faint line, and that's gonna serve as a guideline as to how high to come up with our electric shavers. So as you see here, it's leaving that little faint line that I was talking about. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but it does definitely will leave a faint guideline. And as you see here, I'm just coming up to that little faint line with our electric shavers. Make sure you run that electric shaver numerous times on his scalp just to get it as bald as possible. And next, I'm gonna move forward by setting in some texture on the top of his head. And all I'm doing is using that same procedure as if I was trimming it, grabbing a small section at a time, except this time I'm setting in these little peaks and valleys on the top hair just to create movement on the top, so when we apply some product, it brings out the textures. And next, before I do his edge up, I'll apply a little bit of spritz on his hair and then quickly come in and blow dry it. And all this is gonna do is freeze his hair out of the way so that I can come in freely with my trimmers and lay down his edge up. And for the actual lineup, I'll take a step back and visualize the lineup already in his head so I know exactly where I want it set. And then I'll proceed by starting down in the middle and then work my way off to the left side and then the right side, and just creating that 90-degree box on each side. And next, before you come in with your straight razor, you'll apply a little bit of shaving gel to prevent any skin irritation. And then with your straight razor, lightly tug with the opposite hand just to create tension and help the razor slide more with ease. And as you see here, first I'll shave with the grain and then I'll come in against the grain just to get the shave that much closer to the skin. And also guys, all the products that we use and all the equipment will be linked down in the description if y'all wanna check them out. So next I'll come in and add a little bit of enhancements just to help that hairline pop a little harder. And then yeah, I'll just blend it in with my trimmers as well. I'll leave all my enhancement stuff also down in the description for y'all. But yeah guys, now that we're done with the whole haircut, I'll come in and add a matte pomade to the top and just play with this top hair until we find the desired style that your client is comfortable with. So really quick guys, this is the before and here's the after. I hope y'all guys enjoyed this tutorial and were able to take something home from it. If y'all did, please give us a thumbs up and make sure y'all are subscribed to the channel. And again, thank y'all for watching guys. My name is Sergio Barron, this is Faded Culture, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.